Dolly. Hi, Angel. Oh, come here, come here. Come on. Hi.
You're smiling.
Oh, it's gonna be us all day today, Rig. All day. Hi guys, I am so excited to share the final results of my egg retrieval, but before I do, I want to quickly cover a few terms that you are about to hear just to give you full context of what is going on. So first, you're gonna hear ICSI and INSEM or natural. And what this means is ICSI is when they take the egg and the sperm and they push them together. And so this is to fertilize the embryo, and it's kind of like the more man-made version, but for that reason, ICSI does have higher fertilization success rates. And then the other version, which is INSEM, or also referred to as natural, is where they take the sperm and the egg, they put it in a petri dish, and they let it go at it on its own. So this is the more natural way. But like I said, ICSI does have higher success rates. So for that reason, you do typically see more eggs being fertilized with the ICSI method versus INSEM. And in our case, I specifically requested, or I hoped that we could do some INSEM because like a huge question mark for us has been like, why? Like, why haven't we conceived since all of my test results come back perfect? And there are two possibilities that could be getting in the way of conceiving. One is called blind sperm, where for whatever reason, the sperm just aren't able to get to the egg. And then another thing could be that the shell of the egg is too hard or impenetrable for some reason, and so the sperm can't fertilize the egg. So if we were to do all ICSI, then we wouldn't really get those questions answered if those could be the reasons why we're not conceiving. So since this was a huge question mark, I asked my doctor, are we gonna be able to do some as INSEM? And she said, well, first we have to wait and see how many eggs we retrieve, because in the event like some women have 3 eggs, they're probably not gonna wanna risk leaving it up to chance, and they would do all of those as ICSI. But in my case, since we did have 25 eggs retrieved, which is a good amount, we did have a little bit of room to do some INSEM. So you're gonna see those results in just a minute. And then the other thing that I wanted to explain is the process of finding out the results after the egg retrieval. So the egg retrieval is just step 1 out of many. The day of the retrieval is considered day 0, and then that is the day that they fertilize the eggs via ICSI and INSEM. And then day 1, I got a call telling me how many successfully fertilized. Then I get another call on day 3 and another one on day 5. And day 5 is a really important stage because that is when the fertilized embryos become blastocysts. And that is the point where my doctor really wanted as many of my embryos as possible to get to. And in my case, actually, they did also do a day 6 and a day 7 blastocyst check. And I've read some comments from some of you that are in Europe saying that you guys only go up to day 5 and not to day 6 and day 7, which is really interesting to me. I don't know the reason why we do day 6 and 7 and they don't in Europe, but there are some differences there. So whenever my embryos get to the blastocyst stage, whether it's days 5, 6, or 7, they are being sent off for genetic testing, and that is to test for any abnormalities, and it just gives us a higher success rate once we do decide to transfer. So that is all the extra info I wanted to give you before we dive in, so you are ready to watch the video and the results, and at the very end I will let you guys know what our plans for our transfer are.
So 15 of the 20 eggs had the sperm pushed in, and there may be other 5 up to the 20. They may be able to ICSI some tomorrow.
Okay.
And then 5 we did natural because they really felt strongly that the sperm looked really good too. So.
Okay, great. And then we'll find out tomorrow the results.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tomorrow we'll chat Wednesday and Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday next week.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
What were you just saying?
Oh, I feel good. I feel really optimistic.
What are your predictions for the eggs? So 20 ICSI and 5 INSEM.
I think we are gonna end up having more than 10
total
fertilized, like for sure.
How many ICSI do you think will make it?
80%.
Okay. How about How many of the 5 in some?
3.
Okay.
But you know, that doesn't mean that they're gonna make it to day 5.
We just got a call from the doctor. I'm gonna see if she said anything in the voicemail. Oh, okay, yeah, it's the news.
Good morning. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good. I'm happy with the fertilization. So 3 out of the 5 natural fertilized.
Great.
And that's a really good fertilization rate. And then 14 out of the 15 exceed fertilized.
Wow. Okay.
So that's really good. And then they're not going to exceed any other ones because the other 5 eggs didn't look exactly right. So
Got it. Okay. Great.
Yeah.
And so the next stage, is it day 3?
Wednesday, how many are 6 cells and above grade A or B?
Okay.
That's the number I'll tell you. And then on Friday, how many became blastocysts?
Okay.
Saturday, Sunday too.
Great. Okay, see you soon. Thank you.
Yay!
17.
Yeah.
Rigatoni's excited. You want kisses too? Oh, 17.
That's
Okay,
a
but
lot.
honey, okay.
I think
I'm
my
really-
prediction was really right. I mean, we need to go watch back the video.
I'm very excited, but it's day 1. Like, we still have day 3, day 5.
I know, but it's a
It's a high number to start with.
Exactly,
Yes,
yeah, you know.
yes. There's 17 of us. And I'll just give you guys an update about how I am feeling. Today I'm feeling much better. Last night was hard and it hurt to pee. Like, it literally felt like I had a knife up my... I was so bloated, it like hurt. And so this is where like drinking all the fluids comes in. But I have been like, I think that my stomach hurt so bad, partly because of all the fluids I was drinking. And I speculate, I don't know for sure, but I think that that might be why I'm feeling so much better today, because I did drink so much water. All right, guys, it is the day after the retrieval. I wanted to show you as far as bloating. I feel like it doesn't look that bad, but it is like so hard. My stomach is so sensitive right now that even these pants are almost too much compression on it. Oh.
Hello.
Hello. We are doing just a belly ultrasound today. Yay! They're just gonna check and see how everything is going. Normally it's an intravaginal ultrasound. I've probably done like 50 in the past few months, but they literally can't after the procedure for obvious reasons. So finally I get a break. It's been hard to even wear the high-waisted yoga pants.
I was gonna say, how are you even doing it?
Yeah, these are like my most stretchy, comfortable pants. If something were to like not be normal, what would that be in this appointment?
For this, so if we see that the ovaries have exceeded 10 centimeters, like most of the time, like you'll know when like a patient walks in by how they're walking, how they're breathing. That's why it's called like an hyperstimulation check.
Right. Oh, so this is OHSS.
Mhm.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Yeah. Or you would see like it would look like your ovaries are floating in your body. You would see so much fluid around them.
Fluids. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And that's where like the high sodium diet comes in. I was really worried about this recovery. It's been harder than I expected.
But you know what? I think it's because you had quite a few too.
Yeah.
I think for people who have, like let's say 1, 2, 3, 4 follicles, I notice that they're kind of just like, oh, this was a breeze. But it's like the people who exceed 10, 15, 20, and 30, they're like,
Got it.
what the heck?
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
You were just the poster child.
Oh.
Look at that.
Oh, you're good.
Yay! Poster child. The story of my TTC life. Everything's perfect. Can you help me out? Not that recovered yet. I can't sit up on my own.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
12 embryos are over 6 cells,
Okay.
and you have 4 grade A.
Okay.
So today we just care that they're over 6 cells. A's and B's are equal in my mind.
Okay.
So I think of it, yay, 12. That's like a good starting point to the next step, which is the 100 cells, which is the blastocyst.
Okay, and that's day 5?
Yeah,
Okay.
so that'll be Friday.
Okay.
Now it tends to be Luca's part of it is between day 3 to 5. There's a lot of the kick start from like the sperm now.
So there were 17, so now there are 12, right?
There's still others that are 5 cells,
Okay.
so we've had those make blastocysts. It's just harder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you feel?
I feel good. So what you say about the sperm? Like now, from now on, it's more
Now
like what?
it's all on you.
Oh,
so
wow.
Everyone's
Woo.
survive. Hi guys. It is Thursday, so I'm 5 days post-retrieval. I have to say that today is the first day that I'm feeling like a normal human. The pain is significantly subsiding. It doesn't hurt for me to sit or stand anymore. Other than that, I don't know, I think today has just kind of been a hard day. I don't have a ton of days where I'm like, ugh, and like not super cheery. And even though I'm laughing and smiling, today I've been really like kind of down in the dumps, and those days happen. And that's okay. I'm not forcing it, you know, I'm not forcing myself out of it. I'm just letting myself feel it for right now, letting it pass, and yeah, just doing my best. So in terms of bloating, I feel like it still doesn't look that bad. And it's like still hard, like even up here, it's like still hard, but it's going down a little bit. I actually gained 5 pounds from the procedure, and that's already starting to go down. So not that I care about the weight, but just, you know, my body getting rid of the bloat and all the discomfort and everything. So women told me that they look 5 months pregnant in this process, and I did not realize how real that is.
We have 5 embryos being biopsied and frozen today.
Okay.
And you have 8 others that are in the game.
Okay. So when you say that 5 are being biopsied and frozen today, are those ones that are having genetic testing done?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
2 A's and 3 B's.
Okay. And the other 8 that you said that they're still in the game, what does that mean for those ones? Are they just not as far along and still progressing?
Yep. And then the genetics report, typically we see about half of them be normal.
Okay.
But hopefully it's more than that, but we never know until we get the report.
Okay. Hello?
Hey, we have 11.
11. Amazing.
8 from yesterday, and then 1, 2, 3 from today.
Yay! Are we still going to get a call tomorrow about any embryos, or is today it?
Yeah, I'll call you tomorrow.
Okay, great, awesome.
Okay.
How are you guys feeling? How's your tummy?
So much better.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
Feel
I'm so glad.
back to normal. Yeah.
Okay, well, do you guys want us to hide gender or tell you gender?
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, can we hide it for right now?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then it's okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So we got a lot of normal embryos. The dark gray are the normal embryos. We have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 good ones.
Okay.
Each embryo has about a 70% chance to stick.
Okay, that's good.
When we add a second embryo, it doesn't always add pregnancy, it just adds the risk of twins.
Okay.
Okay.
So it
Got
doesn't actually change our statistics very much when
Okay.
we put 2.
Okay.
We've mastered putting 1 at a time as the safest
Okay.
thing to encourage you to do.
How many do we test?
13.
13. Okay,
Yeah.
so 6 are good. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we
Which is what we expected.
Yeah.
I think that.
Do we want to know if you have more girls or boys? Just
Well, okay, if it's equal, I don't know. It's such a hard thing.
It's really
Because
hard.
like we have discussed this of like what would we transfer,
Yeah.
and we think just going with the best embryo.
Embryo 17. That's your best one from the Mito score too. And then, so let me show you. I have a
17
picture.
is our family lucky number.
That's right.
No way.
Yeah.
So here it also will show gender, but I just want to see which embryo.
If it's equal, we're okay with knowing. If it's not,
Kind of not
It's
equal.
okay.
So
Okay, so then, so this one, so they're gonna have to spend a bit of time to tell me which one's the best one.
okay,
Because it may actually be the natural fertilization one, which is
interesting.
embryo 3.
Interesting.
So this doesn't show gender, but
Okay.
this is kind of cool. I always love seeing which ones are our best players. One of these 3 will go in you because
Okay.
they're the best. And
Okay.
right this moment, I don't know the genders.
Okay.
But
Okay.
and when they look like a figure of 8, that's actually trying to find you to stick.
Oh my god.
It's sort of like Mother Nature.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful.
The ones that would have this bubbly thing is because
Yeah.
they try to stick.
They're trying to,
wow.
it's hatching. That's how it'll attach.
Awesome. So
That's
Anything else?
literally
Yeah,
it.
Okay, good.
So what do you make of that appointment?
I don't even know what to say.
So we don't want to know the gender. We've talked about this a lot and we just want to choose the best embryo regardless of gender because we really don't care.
We don't know. We don't.
No. Other than that,
Other than that, I'm excited. Are you excited?
I'm really excited. Yes. All right, guys. So those are my egg retrieval results. We have 6 healthy embryos that have been genetically tested and are being frozen for when we decide to do our transfer. And it's interesting because I was told going into my egg retrieval that your results of a good guideline, obviously it's different for every person, but it tends to go like 50-50 of how many were retrieved to how many fertilized, which for our case it went from 25 down to 13, and then another 50-50 of how many fertilized to how many end up passing genetic testing, which is pretty much our case as well, since it went from 13 down to 6. So we are very happy with that number, and Luca already is saying that he wants all 6 of the babies. And so as far as when we do plan on doing the transfer, we are not going to be sharing that exact information because we want to allow ourselves to experience this kind of just on our own without the pressure of thinking that anyone is going to be waiting for an update, especially because there is no guarantee that it is going to be successful. And if it is not, then we are probably going to want some time to ourselves to, you know, figure out what the next steps are. So we plan on doing it likely after the holidays, so there's gonna be a big gap between now and when you hear any updates about my fertility journey. Probably will not be until the new year, and hoping it's successful, probably not until like another 3 months until I get into that safe zone of the pregnancies. So it's going to be a while until you get another update from me on this topic, but in the meantime, I still will be sharing other information about working out regarding my fertility journey, any products, as I mentioned in my last video, you know, getting rid of plastics and other chemicals in my household. So I still will be sharing some of those as far as like our actual TTC journey. Mum's the word on that for probably a good 6 months. So, all right, but as always, guys, thank you so much for all of your love and support. I hope that not only was this video informative and educational, but it helped you empathize and understand what women go through with infertility and egg retrievals and transfers and IVF in general. And if you are going through this as well, I hope it gives you a bit of comfort knowing that you are not alone. Okay, guys, thank you so much, and I will see you guys next time.